Marcus Aurelius, who had the weight of an empire on his shoulders, reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your path is not just about the goals you write down, it's about the mental discipline to ignore the noise and keep moving forward when everyone else is being tossed around by the latest distract. Staying on your path isn't about being stubborn or inflexible. Life changed. The Stoics knew that a rigid tree snaps in a storm, but a rooted tree that bends survives. Sometimes your path needs adjusting. Maybe your original plan doesn't fit the reality you're living in. Maybe new experiences have reshaped your values. The important part is that when you adjust, you're doing it from a place of alignment, not reaction. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That means your adjustments are intentional based on who you want to become, not just the mood of the moment or the pressure of the crowd. One of the most effective tools for staying on your path is reflection. The Stoics practiced this every day. They would review their actions each night and ask themselves, did I live according to my values? Did I let anger, greed, or fear push me off course? Did I take steps toward the life I want, or did I let myself drift? You can do the same. Write down your values. Review them often. Choosing to work on your craft instead of scrolling for hours. Choosing to say no when everyone expects you to say yes. Say yes. The challenge is that distractions don't usually feel like distractions. They feel like opportunities. They feel urgent. They feel excited. This is why so many people lose years chasing things that take them further from their real goals. Stoic wisdom can protect you from this. The next time you face a decision, whether it's taking on a project, saying yes to an event, or changing your plans, pause and ask, does this get me closer to the person I want to become, or does it pull me away? It's a simple question, but it's powerful, and if you answer honestly, it will save you from spending your energy on things that don't serve you. The truth is, staying on your path can be lonely. When you choose focus over distraction, you'll stand out. People might question you. They might say you're missing out. They might think you're being too serious, too disciplined, too select. But remember what Marcus Aurelius said. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You don't owe your energy to every opportunity that knocks. You don't owe your time to every person who demands it. You owe it to your purpose, to the life you're building. And here's something the Stoics understood deeply. Your path isn't just for you. When you live with focus, discipline, and integrity, you become an example for others. You show them it's possible to live intentionally in a chaotic world. You give them permission to set their own boundaries, to define their own goals, to protect their own focus. Carl Jung warned, the world will ask you who you are. If you do not know, the world will tell you. Staying on your path is knowing your answer before the world tries to give you one. Still, this isn't about perfection. You will drift at times. You will get distracted. You will take detours. You later regret. The Stoics didn't see this as failure. They saw it as part of the journey. What matters is that you notice when you've wandered and you return to your path as soon as you can. It's like walking through a forest. You might step off the trail, but you can always find your way back if you know where you're heading. This is why having your goals and values written down is so important. They're the map you can return to when you feel lost. In the end, staying on your path is about living with intention in a world that rewards distraction. It's about making choices based on your deepest values, not your passing moods. It's about having the courage to walk away from things that glitter but don't grow you. And it's about remembering that every step you take, forward or backward, shapes the person you're becoming. The Stoics knew that a life without direction is a life wasted. They chose their path and walked it with purpose. And you can do the same. So decide, today, what's your North Star? What are the non-negotiables in your life? What will you say yes to? And what will you have the strength to say no to? Write them down. Keep them close. And the next time the world tries to pull you into its chaos, remember you've somewhere important to be. Keep walking toward it. Third, let go of outcomes. There's a certain kind of anxiety that creeps in when you've done everything you possibly could, but the results are still uncertain. You study for weeks, and the exam could still go wrong. You pour your heart into a relationship, and it might still end. You give your best performance at work, and the promotion might still go to someone else. This is one of life's most frustrating truths. Effort doesn't guarantee the reward you think it will. And yet the Stoics would tell you this isn't a reason to give up, it's a reason to change what you measure. They believe the only true failure is abandoning your own principles. The need for control is a deeply human instinct. We want to believe that if we do all the right things, life will reward us exactly as we imagine. But life isn't a vending machine. You can't just insert effort and get a guaranteed outcome. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They taught that the world is full of variables you will never influence. Luck, timing, the choices of others, even nature itself. Trying to control those variables is like trying to stop the tide with your hands. It will only exhaust you. Epictetus put it bluntly, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. This isn't passivity, it's strategy. It frees your mind from the impossible task of controlling the uncontrollable so you can focus on what you can actually change. When you let go of outcomes, something powerful happens. You start to live more fully in the present. Instead of obsessing about whether your actions will pay off, you find satisfaction in doing them well for their own sake. You go to the gym because you value health, not because you're chasing a certain number on the scale. You work hard because excellence matters to you, not because you're guaranteed recognition. You love because loving is part of the person you want to be, not because it ensures someone will love you back. It's easy to misunderstand this mindset. Letting go of outcomes doesn't mean you stop caring or stop setting goals. The Stoics weren't suggesting you drift through life aimlessly. They were saying set your aim high, give your best shot, but understand the target is partly out of your hands. You don't lower your standards, you shift your focus. You judge yourself by your effort, your discipline, and your integrity, not by how the world reacts. Seneca said it best. The wise man regards the reason for all his actions, not their results. That's the core, and why you act is more important than how things turn out. One way to practice this is to separate the process from the prize. Imagine you're planting a tree. You can prepare the soil, water it, protect it from pests, but you can't force it to grow faster. Your part is the care, not the harvest. The Stoics saw life the same way. You do your part with excellence and let nature take its course. This is harder than it sounds because our culture constantly measures us by results, numbers, rankings, awards, applause. It takes mental discipline to remember that these are not the truest signs of success. The truest sign is knowing you stayed true to your values, even when the outcome didn't match your expectations. And here's something else. Letting go of outcomes can actually make you better at what you do. When you're obsessed with the result, you tighten up, you hesitate, you play it safe. But when you focus on the process, you work with more creativity and courage. Think about athletes who perform their best when they forget the scoreboard and just play the game. The Stoics understood this long before sports psychology existed. By releasing the need to win in a specific way, you give yourself permission to engage fully with the task at hand. Paradoxically, this often leads to better results anyway. But even if it doesn't, you still win in the ways that matter. Of course, none of this means disappointment won't sting. You can pour your soul into something and still feel crushed if it doesn't work out. The Stoics didn't deny that pain. They faced it. Marcus Aurelius admitted in his writings that setbacks hurt, but he also reminded himself that pain is temporary and perspective is permanent. Letting go of outcomes also frees you from the endless comparison trap. When you measure success by results alone, you're always looking sideways. Who's ahead? Who's behind? Who's doing better? When you measure by effort and alignment with your values, you only look inward. Are you better than you were last month? Did you act in line with your principles today? Did you give what you had to give? This is the kind of progress that can't be taken away from you. In a strange way, letting go of outcomes also makes life more adventurous. When you're not fixated on how things should turn out, you're more willing to try, to risk, to explore. Failure becomes information, not a verdict on your worth. You stop needing every step to lead exactly where you planned, and start seeing detours as part of the map. The Stoics would call this living in harmony with nature, trusting that the river of life will carry you where you need to go if you keep rowing with skill and intention. The modern world makes this especially challenging because everything is about instant feedback. We post something online and check for likes within minutes. We start a project and expect results immediately, but Stoic wisdom is the antidote to this impatience. It reminds you that the timeline isn't yours to control. Your responsibility is to act with excellence now without demanding that reality bend to your schedule. That's not resignation. It's mastery. It means you're no longer a hostage to things you can't command. This mindset also deepens your resilience. If your happiness depends on things going exactly your way, life will break you over and over. But if your peace of mind depends on whether you acted well, nothing can take it from you. Carl Jung observed, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become."